love yourself infinitely. You understand me? Infinitely, like to the point where it's like, damn, like I didn't even know I could love myself that much. Like a baby, something crazy. I show you crazy. She ain't no talk tonight. I'm a big lot tonight. We gon' start tonight. Got my cup to the heavens. Another night I won't remember. What's up, babies? It's your favorite girl, Butterfly.Babiii, back with another music review. And today, do you know what we are reviewing? Today, I don't think y'all know, but y'all probably know. We're definitely reacting or reviewing Black is King by Beyonce. Sis, I don't even know how to like explain how good this was. Notes here. If this seems all over the place, I don't really know how to help that. Kind of wrote like my notes down as I was watching the video over again, because I watched it about 5 times. Picked up so much stuff, but I'm gonna just tell you the little things that I picked up. Now, like, I want to say this: a lot of people were saying that the movie got some type of backlash or whatever because people thought it was like cultural appropriation. Honestly, I think this video was the furthest thing from it. I feel like this video was from African Americans. Like, there's even been like in articles I read who have backed up what I'm saying that this is like the perspective of an African American journey. The whole story of The Lion King is about the slave trade and like our journey as African Americans. We came from our traditions and we came from our background and we came from this set of values, and we kind of got snatched away and we learned this whole new set of values that isn't really in line with what we do or what is, you know, true to us, but we make the best of it just because that's our new environment, and we've created beautiful things as well. One thing that I love the most about this is that her words, the lyrics, even if she's not writing it, whatever the team is that creates Beyonce or that helps, you know, create Beyonce content, they do a phenomenal job. The poetry on point. I honestly feel like she is making music the way music is supposed to be made, to communicate a message, and which is going to propel your people forward, you know what I'm saying, and kind of give us a piece of ourselves back that we might have lost, a piece of our traditions, a piece of our language, or a piece of our culture that, you know, a lot of us African Americans have lost, and in a way found our way back to all at the same time. And I feel like this movie, The Lion King, her using all of that just represents that full circle journey, aka circle of life. There's like hella connections in this, and I just want to say the artwork, amazing, beautiful. Like, she just did really a phenomenal job. The architecture, everything. Like, I feel like people were trying to say, for those who are trying to say it's cultural appropriation, I don't think it's that. I feel like she's telling a story, and then she's telling it properly, in my opinion. Like, you can tell she's done her homework to be able to speak on the things that she's speaking on in her video. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she's coming from a place of ignorance. It's not like she's trying to mock a culture. She's showing appreciation for it, and not only that, giving us a sense of that we can relate to. Because I'm not gonna lie, y'all, when I was hearing the drums in these songs, I was moving. Like, another thing that she did so good in this was the inclusion of like African artists or like Caribbean artists having their own songs in the actual playlist or whatever. I'm not gonna lie, the music on this album was really bumping. Like, I think my favorite song, if y'all want a Beyonce music review, I'll definitely do one for like my top 5 favorite songs. Make sure you like this if you do, and I'll do that for y'all. This story is really beautiful. So if y'all don't know, the story is basically based off of the movie Lion King. Now, I say that Lion King is the story of us. My dad actually told me that, and it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lion King goes through this journey where he, you know, he's a cub and he's chilling in his pride land and his life and his traditions, and everything's good, right? And then Scar does something and it makes, you know, Lion King have to run away or have to leave his place of origin. The first song that this story started to really get told in was when she said, when it was Lil Simba going into the elephant. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a scene in Lion King where Simba went to the land of dead elephant bones, or Elephant Boat Land. Basically, the place where all the hyenas was chilling at, right? So, there, Beyonce said, life is a set of choices, lead or be led astray, follow your light or lose it. And that's basically like Simba was being disobedient and being a little bit too curious for his own good, and he ended up getting himself in a situation that he might not have been prepared for. And I feel like the way that this was demonstrated was in her song Don't Jealous Me. Now, Don't Jealous Me was bumping. Shout out to Techno Lord Africana. I don't know how to spell it, but I'll put it here. Mr. Easy and Yemi Alad. Those were the artists that were featured in there. I know one is Caribbean, and I think the other ones might be African. But yeah, that song was bumping. Okay. And it was basically like the guy who, I guess you could say, like the other hyenas or whatever, because that's, I guess, what their representation was. He asked Simba, like, who are you? Who are you? Well, and Simba didn't know how to respond. And I just felt like the reason why that moment spoke volumes is because it's just like, sometimes we as people do forget who we are. We as African Americans, as a collective, don't feel like, well, low-key, we don't know who we are. You know what I'm saying? We don't know where we come from. We don't know our origin. It seems like everybody has this, especially like a lot of immigrants, you know, especially if you live in South Florida or like Miami, there's a whole lot of, you know, it's basically a whole melting pot down here. You get a whole wide variety and range of colors and fruits and all types of stuff. So being an African American, it's like I'm kind of rare down here, you know, to not be mixed with like Haitian or Jamaican or like Trinidadian or like be Colombian or Dominican. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not as common down here. Now, once you go a little bit farther up, you probably find way more of me in like in other parts of the country as well. But like, it just goes to show that, like, you know, you kind of feel away low-key, because it's like, damn, like, everybody's from somewhere. Everyone has their own tradition, their own cultures, and everything that I have, although I make the best out of it, and I feel like although African Americans are really lost, are technically like a lost subculture, the culture that we've created out of that and the beauty that we've created out of that should definitely be appreciated. And I feel like a lot of people are very much so inspired by, like, very much so. You see African American culture everywhere. Like, everybody want to be in when it comes to the clothing, when it comes to music, when it comes to just movements, period, being funny, being, you know what I'm saying, humor. Like, I feel like we drive a lot of trends, we drive forward a lot of like momentum and as terms of like creativity, and a lot of that stems from our pain and our being lost. Just like other cultures have theirs, we have ours as well. And I feel like sometimes that doesn't get appreciated as much as it should. And I feel like Beyonce did a beautiful way of creating a project to where not only are we appreciated, but it's like we can appreciate where we come from and where we're at the same time. You know, just loving all parts of yourself, you know, the old you and the new you as well, because you're still magnificent either way. Okay, and then after that, Jessie Reyez had made a feature. Jessie Reyez did a good job. Her song was Scar. She was basically like, her music was real like, I'm fucked up, you know, real dark, real eerie, like, you know, I'm crazy and I'm evil and this is the way that I am because of the stuff that I've been through, but I'm gonna be like this regardless. Like, real kind of negative energy, I'm not gonna lie, but it was still really good artwork for the person that she was trying to portray. Her song in the actual album is called Scar, so I'm guessing that's who she's trying to portray in this song, or the feelings that she's trying to portray in these songs would be like the emotions that Scar himself is. Very malevolent, malignant, mean, you know what I'm saying? Another big pivotal moment in this movie, which as well as in The Lion King, is when Simba leaves home and he's kind of lost for a little bit, and then he finds Pumbaa and Timon, and Pumbaa and Timon teach him this entirely new lifestyle, give him a new diet, give him a new sense of self, give him a new ideology. Like everything is completely opposite of what he was taught. Now, how does that apply to us as African Americans? Us as African Americans, we completely changed our diet. We went from, you know, eating what we want to eating scraps, or eating things that were originally beneficial for us, or things that are native to our land and culture, to eating scraps, to eating, you know what I'm saying, just not really doing what's proper for our diet. New ideology. It's like, you know, now we have this poor mentality, low-key, lack of responsibility mentality, not because it's what we want, it's just because that's kind of the position that we've been boxed into. How can you ever get out of a situation if you're not given if you're refused the knowledge, if you're refused the tools? And when somehow you're able to still get there after not even having all of that, you're still, you know, set back again. And I feel like sometimes we as African Americans keep getting frustrated because it's like, you know, why can't we get it together? We can't not get it together on purpose. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not because we're dumb or because we're stupid or just because people have issues. We have issues on purpose. Like, we've been put in environments to have issues. We have been denied an education. We have been denied humanity in reality. You know what I'm saying? We've been denied proper life skills, you know what I'm saying, stuff. And I feel like sometimes we're privileged. Like, this speaks a lot to privilege too, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand that whole barrier of having to make it out in order to actually push up and propel forward. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of kids, and good for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take this away from y'all. Y'all have y'all privileges for a reason, but be mindful of the fact that there are people who have to find themselves out of an entire situation or a bad situation. People who are broke and poor and can't focus on, you know, making a YouTube channel, or can't focus on going to school because they have a whole nother set of issues that they have to clear first before they can even think about doing those things. People always want to get on people for the violence. They are in a violent setting. You can't throw a bunch of starving people into a room and expect shit not to get like crazy. You know what I'm saying? You don't have any resources. You don't have any education. You don't have anything. You're just throwing a bunch of angry, traumatized ass people into a city and just giving them everything that they need to kill themselves versus everything that they need to help themselves. And I feel like that's a systematic thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration as to why you have groups of people who can't just do it even though they have the opportunity. I might have the opportunity, but I don't have the resources to take on the opportunity. I don't even have the mindset, nor the education, nor the self-love, self-worth, self-belief, confidence to even believe that I can, you know, get myself into a situation like that and actually be able to take off that opportunity. And to those who can, they're considered like gods in their neighborhood because it doesn't happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that for a reason. And I'm not saying this is always the case, but I'm saying that we as a people have come very, very far despite all that we have been put through and everything that has been put in place to keep us where we were, and we still overcame. Now, and I feel like that's kind of representative of the whole Hakuna Matata thing, which is like no worries. Now, what that means to me when I started like watching this part, after, you know, there was like a whole little Hakuna Matata mention or whatever in the movie, and then you see like Jay-Z in the back of the car, and then you get moved forever. Now, if y'all can all listen to these songs on Apple Music. They're all out on Apple Music. Move Forever, right? Move Forever is like real, like, you know, I'm on my rise, I'm on top, I'm doing great, I'm doing whatever I want, I'm blowing a check, like I don't give a no damn, really, like no, lacking of responsibility. Now what I noticed in the back of this movie was that like she had white people for butlers instead of like, you know, just whatever. Like it was very clear that it was a white old person as a butler. Now when I saw that, I was just kind of like, okay, so I feel like this is very ego based. Now before y'all jump on me, I don't mean ego as a bad thing, because also in the movie Jay-Z also spoke about duality as well. Now if anybody doesn't know duality is basically like you have good and you have bad. You always have two, which is why it's called duality. Feel me? So you're always gonna have a good side, you're always gonna have a bad side. It's a cycle, the circle of life. Okay, y'all following me? I think y'all following me. Kind of spoke about how, like, did I write it down? He said duality, the balancing of good and evil. They often appear together. Nothing appears on its own. Not always a battle. It's a conversation. So I feel like ego serves a purpose. You know what I'm saying? In terms of propelling the forward movement of this thing called the circle of life. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? They have to continuously circle around each other. That's what's creating the movement, you know what I'm saying? But they're both very much so important. And I feel like the ego is important in this, and the way she demonstrates this is because your ego is what's going to pick you back up. Your ego, or your good ego or serving ego, is what's going to be like, you want to know what, despite all of this stuff that's happened, you're still a bad bitch, okay? And you're going to get up and you're going to do whatever you need to do and get on top, because can't nobody tell you nothing, and da-da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da-da, right? So, you know, now you on top. Hakuna Matata, no worries, I'm straight, I'm not going to worry about nothing no more. I'm going to just keep living my life and just say, fuck it. It's still ego. And here's why I say this. Because it lacks responsibility. It lacks, you know, if Simba is supposed to be the king of an entire Pride land, for you to be like Hakuna Matata, no worries, it's like you're forfeiting your kingship. You're forfeiting your responsibility. You're no longer going to address the issue no more. You're not healing, basically. You're running away from your problem because that's easier than facing it. But honestly, you were probably too weak in that moment when it happened to face it, and it probably wouldn't have been best for you to face it because, you know, Simba's a cub. But, you know, that happens as well in situations where it's like you can't face it in that moment, and sometimes you have to go through that phase of where you forget and time time passes and you rebuild yourself and you revitalize yourself and you in essence get reborn. And I feel like that's what Beyonce's Move Forever was. It's like a celebratory thing, like I'm gonna be good regardless, I'm living a good life even though I'm lacking the responsibility and I'm lacking the structure and I'm lacking my traditions, but I'm still, you know what I'm saying? You know, the music video, very rich, very gaudy, you know what I'm saying? Like real bragging, egotistical, low-key materialistic theme, but still very necessary and very important as far as like Simba's journey, because Simba needed Timon and Pumbaa in order to move forward and get better, so that when he got strong enough, he could face those problems. Now here's where Nala come in. Y'all know that we are on the rise of the feminine, okay? And if you don't know, now you know, and you better figure it out and find out and place yourself accordingly, okay? Because Nala's purpose, like, okay, so what did they say? There was another quote in this movie. A quote in this movie was that it's the woman that reassemble us. Sometimes that it's the woman that reassemble us. I find this to be so true. Here's why. In my like low-key little research, not a whole lot, but little research as far as like the psychology between men and women, you have feminine and you have, you know, masculine, divine feminine, divine masculine energy, right? I feel like divine feminine is what creates the idea. We create the home. We create the family. We create the new child. We continue the lineage. You know what I'm saying? What men do is they provide, they pursue, they build it. Men take our idea and they bring it, and they help us bring it to fruition in a sense. You know what I'm saying? We can both individually do that on our own, but when they work together, you can conquer anything. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you're stronger together than you are apart. And I feel like that's what happened with Nala. Now, brown skin girl, skin just like pearls. Okay, that song, I feel like that song was basically dedicated to women building women up. Because I don't know if any of y'all noticed, Black women have had to completely change in terms of the love that they had for themselves and one another. And it took for us to do that internally first. I feel like a lot of women, I feel like Black women have completely, and we didn't even notice it. And I feel like we did not get enough recognition for this. But now it is okay and accepted for a Black, dark-skinned, curly hair girl to wear her 4C natural hair out to job interviews, to work at a job, to go to school. You know what I'm saying? Some kids might be ignorant and still pick on her, but at least it is accepted. You know, a whole lot more girls are feeling confident, especially these little girls that are growing up. That took a lot of internal work that a lot of women themselves had to go through, and a lot of issues that they had to fight in order to start that and create it from, you know, everybody just chopping their damn hair off because they wanted to get, you know, do the big chop, to now it's like we got billboards with 4C hair women, dark-skinned women on the front. And although us as African American women, or just women in general, don't necessarily get the appreciation, the appreciation, the accolades, or the respect that we damn do deserve, we still are, and it's like the strength that we have and the creative beauty that we possess is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I feel like it took us to build ourselves. Don't get me wrong, I feel like both individually had to work on themselves. You know what I'm saying? Simba had to work on himself, but I'm saying brown skinned girl kind of represent the love that we originally had for one another, and the respect and the value that we as women should have for one another. Let's stop fighting. I'm gonna fix your crown, you gonna fix my crown, and we gonna play some goddamn patty cake, okay? You know, Blue is serving, okay? Beyonce had to do a lot of work within herself. I know she did, because she went from what, being on stage, singing these pop songs, being in a real whitewashed world, to now she's at a point to where she can really put out the image that she wants to put out, and give her daughter the reinforcement that she needs, regardless. Because I'm pretty sure people was hating on Blue, and Blue is still serving and looking at all of y'all like y'all is not on the tea, like y'all can't even talk for real. My college bank account is more than what y'all make in 5 years. Like, Blue is serving, Blue's hair is growing, Rumi is serving, her whole family is serving. Black women in general are fucking serving, and I'm proud of all of them. Women in general are serving. You know, even if you're white, Hispanic, whatever, we're all serving. But just for the sake of the video, Black women was serving in this video, okay? Do you understand? You understand me? We here? The women reassemble us, right? So now that Nala's gotten fed the fuck up with reality, right? She like, I need to find Simba, because y'all got this crazy ass man up here on this little patio thing or whatever, thinking that he running shit. He not even supposed to be up here, okay? And you know, Nala had to skip out. She had to, like, I gotta go find my future man. I don't know what this is. What is this? What am I supposed to do with this? So Nala went to find her man, and you know, she found Simba. And she's like, you know, Simba, I'm happy to see you and everything like that, and I'm glad you're here, but you need to bring your ass back home, because you got your uncle acting crazy up here, and we ain't got time for that. She said, Simba, we've really needed you. You're a king. Like, you gotta come back. And if it wasn't for Nala bringing his attention, because what is she looking for? She's looking for him to empower himself. You're a king. This is, and a lot of men, y'all gotta understand this. If you are a king, you can't be sitting here acting like a pawn trying to get the queen. Nah, bro. You want a queen who gonna do her womanly duties and still, you know, keep a smile on her face and keep it nice and bright and tight? Handle your responsibilities as a man if you want her to handle her responsibilities as a woman. But you can't expect me to handle my responsibilities as a woman, and I gotta provide and do all the things and handle your responsibilities as a man too. Why am I with you then if I could do it by myself? And that might not seem right to some people, but I personally feel like that's truthful. If it is instinctual for men to want to chase women, or if it's instinctual for men to feel some type of way when a woman's making more money than it, okay, so then do what you need to do. Any man who's feeling some type of way because their woman's making more money than them, you as a man have low self-esteem, one. And two, if you have an issue with her making more money than you, then you need to figure out a way to make more money than her. Don't expect her to just stop what she doing and she the only thing keeping the bus pushing. The fuck? You know, she had to snap Simba back in place real quick. And I feel like that's what water is. I feel like water. Now, Beyonce made a lot of like big symbolisms behind her thing. Water, moon, rivers, you know what I'm saying? And Oshun. Now, Oshun, I don't know if y'all know what the Orishas are. Orishas are basically angels in African folklore or African fables. I don't know what you would call it, but it's like stories, you know what I'm saying? And they're supposed to be the angels as just higher beings in our view of what spirituality is. Because I'm not gonna lie, everybody has a different view. I really think it's all just the same shit, but it's different perspectives because we have different people on this planet. But they call their angels the Orishas, and they, you know, pay homage to their ancestors, and that's who they pray to and they do offerings to and stuff like that. That's their traditions. And Beyonce's kind of making, I guess you could say, she's drawing back to that by wearing so much yellow. And she even says it like, you know, Queen Shiva, Queen Oshun, I am the mother, you know what I'm saying? So she's definitely doing that. Another key symbolism was the American flag, but it had like ethnic African colors in it. I feel like that was African American in a flag. Like, I really feel like that should be our flag. I'm not gonna lie, because it looked beautiful. I really want one. But it's I feel like, and you know, you had a bunch of black people in do-rags, which I feel like is predominantly African American. You know what I'm saying? She just did such a good job of translating and communicating, at least to me, the meaning behind our movement, you know what I'm saying, and our growth as a people. Simba had to snap back into reality, and he had to do a lot of inner work and a lot of inner, you know, psychological understanding, and he had to go back to the source of that pain of where he lost his father. We had to go back to the source of that pain where we lost our traditions. We had to relearn about what really happened when we were taken away from our ancestors. We had to relearn. We had to go back to that painful part in history and take the mask off of it and reveal the ugly so that we can see it and understand it and get past it and understand that, you know, even though that there's this ugly black spot in history, we're still descendants of greatness. We're still descendants of gods, kings, and orishas and angels, powerful deities. After that, another symbolism that I recognized a lot in this movie was the whole exchange between red and blue. Now, I'm not talking red as in like the darkish red, because I feel like the darkish red was to represent the female lions, because in right before Power, like, you know, they had came out and they had a darkish red, which is very interesting to me. I don't know why they were like a darkish red, but I know that the whole theme of them kind of originated from like a real African tribe, or like a real African tradition of putting the clay on your hair and all over your skin. What was I finna say? But I'm talking about like the red, like the bright, red versus the real cool blue. And there was like a battle between there and and then they cut to Power. Now Power is the fight where Simba takes back his kingdom, because it's like they'll never take my power. Yo, they was bumping, okay? They was bumping in this song, like, for real. I can't name one bad song. I do not skip songs on this album, for real. That was the fight between Simba and Scar and Nala and all of them. They fighting for their kingdom. They fighting for their power back. And I feel like that's what us as African Americans are doing as well. We're fighting for our place. We're fighting for our throne. We're fighting for our right to create and live a good life and provide a legacy for our children. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the legacies that were provided for us when we were kings and queens. And you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say we're going back, because we can never really go back, but we're highlighting the important parts of us that we forgot, and we're bringing it forth to the present, so that we can revamp it and include it and just have a sense of self again, because a lot of people lost that, and we needed to find that, and understanding that it's not white, you know what I'm saying, to be responsible. It's not white to be educated. It's a part of who you are. You were educated, you were responsible, you owned thrones, kingdoms, you were able to do magnificent, amazing things previous to this dark time in your history. Simba was a king in the making before this dark part of his history, and he was ready to just leave it alone and never look back, because he forgot who he was. He forgot that he was a king. And I feel like that's what the little trophy or whatever, I don't even know what it was called. It was like a little totem. I don't even know. But that's why he dropped it. When he dropped that, he forgot who he was. He forgot he was a king. He forgot he was the descendant of ancestors of great, or he forgot he was a descendant of Orishas. He forgot that he was protected by his ancestors and the Orishas and the gods and everything. He forgot. He forgot his tradition, just like we forgot. But he found it again. And when he found it again, he was able to therefore go back and connect and move on to the realm with him and his father. And that concluded basically the movie. Oh, honestly, the movie gets 10 out of 10 stars for me. I really very much enjoyed it. I cannot wait for the next one to see how she's gonna top herself. I knew this shit was gonna be good the moment I saw it. And you want to know something? I feel like the movement that is happening right now is people gonna start dropping movies for their albums instead of albums, like dead ass. Like, you might as well at this point, because she just kind of blew all y'all out the water. Like, I rewatch it like it's an actual movie. It is an actual movie. It's a plot, it's a line, it's a visual album, and the visuals were just as magnetizing as the songs and the lyrics. 10 out of 10. Like, I don't even know what else she could do that would even just top this. I can't wait for tour. Okay, even if I don't even know if she's gonna go on tour, but if she go on tour, sis, I cannot wait. Her visuals were absolutely amazing. Congratulations to her team. I think she did an absolutely phenomenal job, and I really did enjoy it. Oh, and then also the red versus blue, I feel like, notice how in the end she was standing in a room full of purple people. Now here's what this means to me. Here's what I got, right? After they had that little fight, you had the red and the blue clashing, which is your ego and your higher self, or the bad and the good, they clash, right? And then what the whole purpose of duality is to go from 2 to 1. What happens when you mix red and blue? You get what? It's on my head right now. Blue, bitch. Exactly. So, it was in a room full of purple, and that was the harmonious time. You know what I'm saying? Simba became king of Plymouth Rock. Prime Rock. I don't even remember. It's crazy because I just watched the movie 2 days ago. But he became the king. Nala became a mother. The Pride Lands was restored, you know what I'm saying? And then they kicked the hyenas out and happily ever after. Dead ass. You know what I'm saying? He took his rightful place as king and sat on his goddamn throne and did what he had to do. And don't get me wrong, there's a whole lot of other symbolisms and things that I picked up on, but I'm already on 43 minutes, so I'm really finna cut this short. I love you babies so much. We are really doing such great things. I'm so proud of us, and I cannot wait for what is in the future. Take what is yours. Do what is take the responsibility. Take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for your craft. Take responsibility for your emotions. Be honest with yourself. Love yourself infinitely. Do you understand me? Infinitely, like to the point where it's like, damn, like I didn't even know I could love myself that much. Figure out a way to heal. Figure out a way to move on. Figure out a way. Learn about different cultures. Learn about different traditions. Learn about African backgrounds. Learn about the Orishas. Have you? Maybe you should try. You know what I'm saying? You might like it. Everybody to each his own. Everyone floats different boats. You know what I'm saying? So if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified every single time that I upload another video. And I'll see y'all in the next one, babies. Bye. Mwah.